Hello. I have had like ridiculous shitty week or so, and I just wanted to come on here and share it with you. I guess I don't know. Excuse me. So y'all know about our roach problem. Not bug problem, but we have a roach problem. And when we moved in, we did not bring it. It was already there. And we've been in a treatment battle since September. Okay, we've been charged $90 for 2 times that. One time they came out and my kids were sick and they canceled, so I understood that $45 charge. The other one was because they showed up and my kids looked at him and said, "Let me go get my shoes on." And he left. And said that they weren't ready. No, they were just in the house. Where else were they going to sleep? And everybody else on the planet stays in their own house until they show up. So it was just really all kinds of rude. And so we're having like major issues with that. So we have to put that on pause because there was a pipe that burst in our ceiling, like in between the 2 apartments. And the apartment next to us and our apartment got water damage, and our apartment got the brunt of it. In fact, my hallway got a big, huge, parts of it are caving in. And then also the hall closet above the washer and dryer in the hall and in the laundry room, and then in my son's room, a little bit in my room in the doorway. The whole wall in my son's room was just all water damage. She walked in today. She got a key. Now, I told them, just knock on the door because we will be there. They go, well, they need to get a key to come in. Okay, fine. They come in and they realize that we're all asleep. All they had to do was freaking knock, which irritated me, but you know, what are you going to do? And, so then, she sat there and she was like, oh, and she's like, oh, look at all this water damage. And oh my goodness, look at this. And oh my goodness, every time she walked further into the apartment, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. And then she goes, is there anywhere else? And, you know, 'cause she looked up in our room. And we said, go to my son's room. She opened, she goes, oh my gosh! And was in total shock. And she goes, okay, no, we are starting right now. There is no waiting. We're not waiting for anything. We're going to get this going. So we had like 10 minutes to get out of the house. Yeah, we're all third shift people. Like, we don't go to bed till like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning sometimes. We don't usually, my husband and I start work about 11 because it's cold and it's winter. And we don't want to do so much, you know, morning. So we start work at 11 and work till 3, or start at 10 and work till 3. And then from 3 to 7 or 3 to 6, we're off taking kids to work or going to my uncle's. And then we're back on at 7. And between 6 and 7, sometimes a little earlier, sometimes a little later, and we can work anywhere from 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night. And it's frustrating because I don't get home until about 10:30, and then we're doing bouncing back and forth between our house and my father-in-law's house, and I'm like, I don't know what else to do. I don't know what else to, or how else to respond. And so it's leaking. We can't get our house treated for roaches, and my husband doesn't like the bed that we bought. I don't mind it. It's like memory foam. I like it. Kind of feels like a hotel bed. I like it. He's trying. So we called the company that we got it from, the furniture company we got our bed from. And they go, oh yeah, we'll exchange it. No issues, no problem. Bring the bed back. Bring the mattress back. We had it delivered because we couldn't get it to our house. So now I got to figure out a way to get this mattress foam, king size mattress foam mattress. Okay. Memory foam mattress, not mattress foam, memory foam mattress back to the furniture store where they will exchange it for maybe a cooling bed, because my husband tends to get really hot at night. So do I. I have night sweats. I think I'm like perimenopausal. Like, oh, not premenopausal, not peri. I think peri's at the end. Premenopausal. So, which when you have your tubes tied, you tend to go into menopause a little bit earlier than everybody else. Than typical non-tube tying chick. I can say chick because only chicks have periods. Sorry. If you were born a female, you have a uterus, you're gonna have a period unless you have it surgically removed. If you have a period, you're a girl. Unless you get it surgically stopped. Then it's not, different. I had to unfollow a girl today because she posted something, and it had nothing to do with mental health. It had to do with her own personal opinion. And but what she said with her personal opinion actually was, in my opinion, disrespectful. She was talking about our president, and I am not very political at all. I don't put out politics on here. You want to know my political stance, go to Twitter. I'm not going to get into it in the political, but she mentioned something that, as a human being, I didn't like. It was, she said something along the lines of, and I'm not going to put her on blast or anything. I believe she blocked me because I unfollowed her and then blocked her from my story. I didn't want her watching my story, or have access to my story, because I don't want hate being on my page. I don't want anybody putting hate out there. I won't like something if it's being blatant. I will unfollow you in a heartbeat. But she said some pretty choice things about individuals who may or may not have voted for our president. And it was pretty hurtful, pretty mean, in my opinion. And I told her, I said, this is kind of harsh, in my opinion. This is kind of harsh. And the final sentence that she wrote was, if you don't like it, unfollow me. So I told her, I said, honey, I have to unfollow you because I don't want this kind of hate on my page. There's certain, if you want to post like news articles, I'll scroll right through it. But when the very first thing that I see is a hashtag and something mean, I'm not going to follow you. And if you have mental illness and you want to be an influencer with mental illness, or regarding mental illness, my suggestion to you is to show love and respect towards everybody, no matter who they are, and no matter what their political stance are. Because a Democrat or a Republican, right or left, our brains, all have chemicals and are all jacked up in their own special little way. So a Democrat with bipolar and a Republican with borderline personality disorder, or a Democrat with social anxiety, or a Republican with bipolar 2 or dissociative. You have schizophrenia. You have all these plethoras and this wide spectrum of mental illness. Okay, this very large spectrum of mental illness. And if you want to be an influencer, you cannot perpetrate hate in any way, shape, or form. You need to show love and respect, and you might not like what is going on in the world, but if you want to advocate for mental health and say, oh, it's okay, let's end the stigma, let's do this, don't post hateful fucking shit. Just don't do it. To me, it's just, I'm not going to take you seriously if in one hand, you're saying, oh, let's show love and respect for those that have mental illness and suffer from depression and bipolar and schizophrenia and borderline and all this other shit. But on this hand, let's hurt. Let's be mean. Let's call names. Let's use offensive hashtags. And they don't coincide. Because that person you're saying all these mean, hurtful things to, you don't know their mental capabilities. You don't know if they're hiding mental illness and don't want to come out with having mental illness. Did it ever occur to anybody? And I think about this for just a second. When you are being mean to somebody and you're being rude and they're famous, okay? They're going to get this a lot because they're famous and they're in the public eye. But when you attack them in that public eye and you call them mean, hurtful things, that can trigger a mental health issue. You're not solving the problem. You're not helping the problem. You're worsening the situation. You're worsening what you're trying to accomplish. In the stigma. Die, you asshole. Dude, don't be that extreme. Don't be that extreme. Don't be that extreme. Don't be an influencer if you cannot be kind. Whether you're a cannabis influencer, a mental health influencer, a cartoon influencer, a cosplay influencer, if you are picking something to be an influencer for, you have to be nice. Or being an influencer is for nothing. You want to influence people. Why do you want to influence with hate and meanness and rudeness? What is the point? Just because you can? Because you have so many followers? That doesn't make you any better than the person you're yelling at, or the person you're putting down, or the person you're hashtagging mean, hurtful things. You don't know. And then did it ever occur to you that the people closest to them might be affected by what you say and do as an influencer on social media? No. Nobody ever thinks about other things, other people, other feelings. Everybody is human. Everybody has them. You get sad. You get angry. You get happy. You get excited. You get frustrated. You have a bipolar moment. You might have a schizophrenic moment. You might have a depressive moment. You might have a manic moment. But you're human. And so is he. And so is she. And so are they. And so are them. You want to be an influencer, then by all means be an influencer. But for the love of God, be a nice influencer. Influence happy. Influence respect. Influence love. Ran over.